Hello, 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 hello. It took us some time, but finally, yes, finally we have gone there. Obviously, usually I prefer to be live about, I would say 3 hours ago, but obviously family comes first, family matters and everything. So at the end of the day, we are still here, we are doing streams, we are not stopping, and that is something I absolutely love. But today, of course, Arsenal transfer news, Arsenal transfer updates, discussions, opinions, all that good stuff. It's again a weird one because we are kicking off preseason. On Wednesday, we play against Bournemouth. I think Sunday, Monday, we fly to USA. And we still have no signings. We still haven't gotten rid of Deadwood. So definitely there is lots and lots of stuff to deal with. And to be honest, as we all know, Mikel Arteta has said himself, and those are his words, and we're pretty much quoting here, that Mikel Arteta likes to do his business early. Here we are. No business has been done early. And I genuinely believe that Josh and Stan Kroenke have gone to Edu and said, you need to sell, you need to prove to us, and you need to show us that you can get some return on our investments, because we have given you 600 plus million, you have spent it left, right and center, and you haven't sold pretty much anything. So genuinely I think Kroenke have said to Edu that you need to sell before you can get some money from us. They need some proof that he can do things, so it is what it is. But yeah, today we are kicking things off with lots of transfers, lots of discussions, and all that stuff. So, of course, like, comment, subscribe if you're new around here. Costs nothing. I'm hoping you are you like the content we are doing here. Obviously, so far streams, might do some other videos during some time. Maybe I will stream actually tomorrow morning, because during the evening I want to go to relax. I want to go swimming, to the beach and everything. So definitely tomorrow most likely will be a early stream, and during the day I won't be here. But yeah, enough about that. Like, don't forget to interact in the chat what you think about current situation with Arsenal transfers and players we are linked, about selling, buying and all that stuff. And to be honest, without further ado, let's dig straight in. And we're kicking things off with Chido Martin, who unfortunately for Arsenal has joined our bitter enemies, Manchester United. Manchester United, apparently, it's just a rumor, but by the looks of things, according to Edward Francis, United have beaten Dortmund and Bayern Munich for the signing of Chido Martin. The 16-year-old's number one choice is now Manchester United. After his visit around Carrington yesterday, he will leave Arsenal's academy. Chido was taken on a tour by Ruud van Nistelrooy and Steve McLaren. And since Ineos have taken over Manchester United, they have been on a massive roll, signing players left, right and center, trying to get rid of Deadwood. They actually have made Manchester United fans super excited, and now they have managed to steal a youth star potential player from us. And obviously, imagine you are 16 years old, you are walking around Manchester United stadium and everything around Carrington and the training facilities, and you have given personal tour by one of the best strikers in Premier League history, in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Imagine the starstruck, imagine the scenes, and it's pretty much hard to say no to that, to be honest. If I was a striker and I was given a personal tour by Ruud van Nistelrooy, it would be hard to say no. Obviously, I'm Arsenal through and through, so I wouldn't have left, but obviously in these days, loyalty to one club is pretty much non-existent. It's very rarely you see, let's just say, a player staying full career at one place. Obviously, for Barcelona, for example, it's a bit different with Iniesta, Xavi. But these days, it's also, who knows, Yamal will leave or not. Most likely won't, so he might be the next one. Obviously, some other teams, like Basque region teams, a bit different. They keep their players throughout the whole career, and they get sold. They don't buy any. But yeah, days are gone of players like Totti, Gerrard, and players like that, who pretty much stay entirety of their careers in one team. Obviously, he's only 16, so it is what it is. But there's no shadow in my mind that United have gotten a massive steal. Now, the question is, since he's so young, is there like sell-on clause and stuff like that, like we had with Omari Hutchinson when he joined the Chelsea for free? I would assume there is, because there is some type of protection for the young players. I haven't brushed up on my knowledge in these situations, but I would assume there is. But unfortunately, it looks like Chido Martin is joining Manchester United very, very soon. Moving on to Emil Smith Rowe, who's been one of the hot prospects in talking about leaving Arsenal this summer. Mikel Arteta allegedly doesn't want him to leave, but Emil Smith Rowe himself wants first team football. Obviously, Mikel Arteta can't guarantee him that, because if you recall last January, he promised him the world. He said playing important role in the title race and everything. He didn't get sold in January. After that, what happened? He got man of the match against Luton and got a few cameos here or there for 15-20 minutes at best. But apparently, Crystal Palace are believed to be preparing an offer of 35 million, including bonuses, for Emil Smith Rowe. But the biggest issue with this is, and the biggest joke in a way, but the Arsenal are expected to reject their offer. Fulham are also expected to return with an improved player bid. But yeah, apparently Arsenal are expected to reject, according to Ed Aarons from Guardian, Arsenal are expected to reject the bid in a value around 35 million for Emil Smith Rowe. You ask me why? You ask me why, and here it is why. Mikel Arteta is understood to want to keep Emil Smith Rowe at Arsenal despite using him sparingly last season. Smith Rowe is due to depart the club in pre-season tour to the United States on Sunday, with Arteta set to decide on his future. But it's very weird. Arsenal said they want to sell him, then they don't want to sell him, and now it has gotten so far, and I think it's obviously for Emil Smith Rowe's sake of his future, that he has somewhat established himself as a footballer in Premier League and for Arsenal and shown that he can play, that he wants first team football. And let's be real, for about 70% of Premier League clubs, he is a starting caliber player who would start pretty much for every single team, because the teams that are linked with him, with Fulham, let's be real, if he doesn't get injured, he starts every single time. If you think he's linked with what's its face, with Crystal Palace, he starts their Ari as well every single time, especially since Olise has left. There are rumors that Eze might leave. Definitely they're looking for some replacements, and Emil Smith Rowe actually would be the perfect option. Yes, he needs to work in certain instances, but since he won the Euro under 21 season ago, he had some injuries and he never hit the ground running this season. Similarly like Gabriel Martinelli. He was sublime last season. The first season when we came second, 8 points behind City, but last season, yeah, he just fell off the face of the earth. Yes, there was injuries, he didn't hit the ground running, but as well, you could see that his confidence was lacking because he couldn't score opportunities he tended to score season before in his sleep. He missed multiple one-on-ones and everything. So yeah, but back to Emil Smith Rowe, it's very interesting because Emil Smith Rowe wants first team football. Obviously, Arsenal can't guarantee him that because there are players in front of him. Arsenal are trying to improve their team and everything, and there are now players in front of him, and he doesn't look like he's gonna get it. So he's looking for some greener pastures, which makes sense. Selling him for Arsenal as well, since Emil Smith Rowe is a Haaland graduate, would be pure profit, which also would be nice cash in Arsenal's favor. Of course, with PSR, FFP, and in general trying to sign someone later on. But yeah, it looks like Arteta is understood to want to keep him at the moment, and which is weird because this one statement is kind of contradictory in itself, because Mikel Arteta is understood to want to keep Emil Smith Rowe. You read till the end of the sentence, with Arteta set to decide on his future. So technically it means he wants to keep him, but he doesn't want to keep him. So make it make sense at this point. What's gonna happen with Emil Smith Rowe? Really? It's that silent? It's not. It's decent. Hello. Should be good because I'm testing. Wait. Should be good. Yeah. It's actually pretty decent. I was just testing. What? Wrong screen. I was testing it. It's actually good. It's all good. But yeah, Emil Smith Rowe in that instance, yeah, it's a shame. Genuinely, it is a shame. I really hope he stays, but at the same time, yeah, if you can make proper profit, I think if they are rejecting the 35 million bid for Crystal Palace, they actually are weighing up the options to sell him for 40 million. And if Crystal Palace are willing to bid 35, and Fulham see that that's not enough, and they're coming with an improved offer from the previous time, which was around 32, 33 million, they actually might reach the 40 million mark. which then obviously would mean most likely that Arsenal would sell. But obviously we all have to remain and see. Maybe in pre-season he hits the ground running, he's on incredible form, and he maybe stays. But again, Emil Smith Rowe wants first team football, and Arsenal cannot guarantee him that at this stage, unfortunately. This one is a mad one, by the way. This one is a mad one. Gabriel Jesus has sent a clear warning message to Premier League rivals Liverpool and Manchester City. Basically, what he said here is the fact that basically they're coming for City. Here it is. Gabriel Jesus has warned Premier League title rivals Liverpool and Manchester City that Arsenal are coming this season. Pause. As they aim to end their 21-year wait for the league. Would it all, in theory, sounds nice and happy, dandy and all that stuff. The thing about this is, though, the fact is about all this, if Jesus could actually score, would be nice. Genuinely would be nice, because Jesus hasn't had more than 14 goals a season just yet. And if he doesn't get injured, he could hit the 20 mark, the way we play and everything. And if we can do that, that definitely could be the difference from us finishing second, 2 points behind City, and actually winning us. Obviously, next season, you have to take in count, and we shouldn't take in count, but it is what it is. During the season, obviously, City for 115 charges is going to go to court and everything, so we'll see what's going to happen there. Obviously, as well, during training, you can see that Gabriel Jesus is in much better shape. Maybe he can avoid injuries in that regard. Jesus and Thomas Partey looking better shape. Yes, they do, to be honest, compared to what they looked like. Sorry, I need to do this. Camera went mad. What they looked like at the end of the season and last season, it's unincomparable, because Thomas Partey last season got outrun by most players when he came back. You could see his fitness is not up to par. Hopefully, if they staying Nelson and ESR, I don't want Nelson to stay. ESR I would like to keep, I'm not gonna lie. Thomas Partey, he's earning 200 grand a week. He's earning 10 million a year. So who would want to leave? Genuinely, who would want to leave? And Jesus, yes, I would give Jesus one more season. If he gets injured once again and he can't prove himself, I would sell him. Because we have come to a point where we as a team have outgrown, obviously Zinchenko, we have outgrown the players we used to have as our main guys. We signed just 2 seasons ago from City. We have outgrown Zinchenko, and we kind of have outgrown as well Jesus. Jesus' issue is that he gets injured. He's not durable enough. He cannot avoid injuries. If he could do that, big up Ramba. If he could avoid injuries, we could see what is what. But if he could have one injury-free season, that would actually show what is what with him. Because he has, as I said, he hasn't scored more than 14 goals a season yet. And if he can avoid injuries throughout the whole season, he actually could be on course. Maybe scoring about, I don't know, 18, 19 goals, given about 8, 6, 9 assists potentially, given how we play, how we spread the ball around. There actually could be a possibility. But despite that, we need a proper striker, because despite everything, Jesus has said himself that scoring goals isn't his forte. And how can you have a proper number 9, and how can you challenge for the league when you have a proper finisher? Because Havertz is wasteful and cannot finish. Gabriel Jesus as well. He cannot finish. He's a bit less wasteful, but at the same time, he has missed chances which have cost us the game and many, many points when he wasn't injured. So it is what it is. It's very, very questionable at the moment. But yeah, ultimately, I would give Jesus one more season, see what is what. If he again gets injured and cannot provide, I would sell him. Back to moving on to Bart Simpson, the crybaby himself, Alexander Zinchenko. According to Fabrizio Romano, Alexander Zinchenko signs with a new agency, as he will be represented by Unique Football Agency. Very, very, very creative name. To decide his future steps. Now, does that mean that he's preparing to leave and he wants to leave and he's aiming to leave this summer or not remains to be seen. But the fact that he has signed with new agency, he's looking for some greener pastures, because his minutes last season compared to the first season generally tanked to the bottom of the lake. full on. Obviously, it was due to injuries because he's pretty much more injury prone than Tierney, to be honest. And I would love to keep Tierney, mind you, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Generally, we'll see what happens, but it looks like Zinchenko has signed with new agency, and maybe he will just leave. Maybe he will leave. Moving on to Emil Smith Rowe, we're gonna mix and match here, but understand the Crystal Palace are set to bid soon. We talked about it, 35 million including add-ons, but Arsenal are expected to reject the offer. 35 million and they want to reject. They're really gonna get 40 for him. They're really gonna try it. And as I said, Fulham, if they see that they reject 35 with the improved offer, they will have to bid more, potentially, or they will turn their back. Although Marcus Silva, and Glasner himself both really want Emil Smith Rowe, so that could be actually the only reason why they stay in, and we get the money around the 40 million mark, potentially. Crystal Palace will also decide sooner that will sign Ryan Sessegnon or not. I wouldn't, not gonna lie, I wouldn't, but it is what it is. Daily Calafiori. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, Calafiori. And all that stuff. It's Daily Calafiori. It used to be Daily Awar, Daily Dusan Vlahovic, and now it's Daily Calafiori. 3 weeks, and we still haven't signed the geezer. And now here it is. We're gonna talk about it here. According to Football.London, Arsenal have been strongly linked with the move for Italy and Bologna center back / left back Riccardo Calafiori, but Liverpool have been advised to hijack the deal for the in-demand defender. And it's no secret that Calafiori actually has been linked with and has intrigued interest from multiple teams. And it's not just Arsenal, it's not just Liverpool. There were some rumors that Real Madrid are snooping around a bit, and some other teams. So if Arsenal drag this too long, then it has to go. I genuinely see this being hijacked. And I spoke about this already a week ago. That Arsenal are dragging this so long, they're penny pinching over about £5 million, 10 million euros. No, 10 million euros would be about £7 million. That sooner or later, some team will come in and try to swoop the deal. Sooner or later, it will happen. Someone will try to hijack it. And since it's 3 weeks, we are flying to USA, and Edu is also flying to USA, as we all know. So he won't be he will just be on the phone and not hands-on, pretty much flying to Italy. Maybe Garlic and someone else might do it. It might get a bit ugly. It might get a bit ugly, and not just a bit, maybe very ugly, if Arsenal drag this too long. Arsenal have this tendency to drag these deals super long until someone else comes in, or someone outbids, or the other team gets pissed off with the way Arsenal are doing things. With Declan Rice, yes, it's a high caliber deal we pulled off, but West Ham got pissed off when Arsenal tried to drag this too long than it had to be, with certain stipulations and everything. And we had that before as well with someone. With Ben White it was. Brighton said we want 50 million. Arsenal say, okay, here's 38. They rejected it. Then Arsenal go in with 42. No, we said 50. Then Arsenal go in with 45. And again, it gets rejected. They want 50. So if they want 50, why the hell you are not paying 50? Why are you trying to haggle and penny pinch the money to save like 2 million? Why are you doing this? Arsenal are not skinned, genuinely. Kroenke is 40 billion net worth, and Arsenal are penny pinching here. It's genuinely embarrassing. And I strongly believe that Arsenal, they are not broke, but they don't have money. And what I mean by they don't have money, Kroenkes haven't given the green light to sign players for Edu, because they want to see Edu do business for outgoings first. They want to see that he can do the job as sporting director, because he has so far been a bit of a laughing stock. Let's just say how it is. Because Arsenal in general never sell first. They usually sign and then try to sell. And this is summer, we are doing the straight opposite. We're trying to sell and loan out, and then we are trying to sign. Obviously with Šeško it was opportunity, didn't work out. But overall, while we're doing this Calafiori deal, we have loaned out 2 players, we have released quite a bit of youth, and we're trying to sell Emil Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson to Palace, West Ham, and everything, and Arsenal are doing things the opposite way compared to the times we usually do things. So I strongly believe that Kroenkes have their foot down on Edu's neck and saying, you do your job for selling first, and then we can talk about getting money to sign players. I strongly believe that actually might be the case, because there's no other explanation for Arsenal to penny pinch for 5 million. Genuinely, there's no other explanation whatsoever. According to Team News and Ticks, it's been said that people within the Arsenal squad think Gabriel Jesus, and hold on to your pants for this one, is a top 5 number 9 in the world when he is at his best. That's how highly they rate him, and that was on Charles Watts' YouTube channel. Gabriel Jesus is top 5 number 9 in the world when he is on top of his form. If I speak, as Jose Mourinho said, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. And pretty much that is the case here. Because how can you be top 5 number 9 striker in the world if you have said yourself in public interview that scoring goals is not your forte, it's not your main thing, plus you haven't scored more than 14 or 15 goals in Premier League in your career yet. You haven't reached even the 20 mark close yet. How can you be top 5 number 9 in the world? Make it make sense. And who in Arsenal's squad thinks that? I would genuinely like to know. Because I don't see him as top 5 number 9s in the world. Yes, top 9s in the world at the moment are very bleak. Market for strikers in general is very bleak. We don't have like we used to have about 10 to choose from. But top 5, definitely not. I genuinely don't think he's top 5, especially since he cannot score properly. How can you say that? This is something that truly caught me off guard today as I was at work and scrolling through news. And here it is. Haaland, Havertz, Jesus, Mbappe, and Nketiah. Top Arsenal fans probably think that way. But genuinely, there is Haaland, there is Mbappe for sure. I would put, to be honest, Benzema still over him. Genuinely, I kid you not, I still genuinely believe Arsenal, Benzema can do the job. Osimhen is better than him. I'm generally trying. Lautaro Martinez, even though he wastes too many chances, he actually can score goals. There are generally lots of those people. Tony is not much better, but a bit better. Watkins, Harry Kane, as much as I hate to admit this, even though he has won all in his career, I can name at least 10-15 who are better than him. How can he be top 5 number 9 in the world? Generally, how can it be? Sell him injured every time, not available. And that is the big issue, genuinely. Because since Brazil, when he went to Brazil, when he went to the World Cup, he got injured with the knee. Then he came back, was nursing his injury, decided to play through the injury to help Arsenal for the title push, which made the injury far much worse. Since then, he has injured the same knee 2 times more and had to drain it after the end of the season. Yes, he is now in better shape, in better fitness. And for me personally, I would give him 1 more season. His value, generally, his market value has increased by 20%, according to reports, according to Transfermarkt, and according to professionals in this instance, from about 45 to 60 million. No idea how, but it has. The more you get injured, apparently, the better your chance of getting sold for better money is, by the looks of things. But yeah, when he's not injured in his best of forms, he's very good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna deny that. However, I would give him 1 more season. This season specifically, 1 more season. If he gets injured once again for an extended period of time, or he cannot score at least, I would say 20 goals. Okay, 15. Okay, 15 to 20 goals. If he cannot score that, about 17, 18 goals this season, and add about 7 to 10 assists to that, I would sell him. He's a great backup option. He can be a backup for Saka because his best production technically has been on the wing. Because when he was at Manchester City, his best seasons came when he was playing on a wing. So Arsenal don't exploit that too often, so it is what it is. Technically, we could use him as a backup for Bukayo Saka and still play him as a 9 when we need him. Just go and sign a proper striker. Generally, it could work. Genuinely, it could work. But it is what it is at the moment. We're gonna go with him one more season. For me, it's one more season. Mind you, if we don't win anything this season, Arteta has to go, so we might as well talk about that in a way. Charlie Patino, one of the highest rated youngsters in the last, I would say, 5 years that have come out, not 5, I can't say 5, last 3-4 years that have come out of Arsenal. And together, obviously, and according to Charles Watts, I've always been told this is the summer that Charlie Patino leaves Arsenal. That could change, but I've always been of the expectation that he will be going this summer one way or another. And I genuinely believe he won't stay with Arsenal's main squad. I think Ranieri is better than him. I would say Skelly is also better than him. Not gonna lie, Skelly is better than him. He already is training with the first squad, and I would generally believe you can get about 10 million. If you play your cards properly, you can get about 10 million for Patino at the moment. I would give him a loan or sell him. I don't see him playing for the main squad. I genuinely don't see him playing for the main squad. At some time he was being one of the highest rated Arsenal youngsters. Charlie Patino, how old is he? He's 20, so there's still lots of time for him to grow and develop. So definitely there is player there, but I don't see him being Arsenal caliber. Ranieri, yes, I see that. Skelly, I can see that, but Patino, I just don't see it. Sorry, but I just don't. At the moment, I just don't, especially that we have midfielders that are better than him already. Moving on to some midfielder news. Again, on Charles Watts' YouTube channel, according to Team News and Tix, with Declan Rice, Arsenal prefer him as an 8. And let's be real, Declan Rice is an 8. He cannot play at 6, genuinely. Because they feel he does both jobs, 6 and 8. Yes, he's like a box-to-box and everything. Although we held most of the possession for the most of the time, so it is what it is. Arsenal would prefer to sign a 6. But it's a harder market because number 6s in the world, a proper number 6 is very, very hard to come by at the moment. Yes, there was Fofana, but Arsenal have screwed that up. He's most likely going to AC Milan. There wasn't talks about Onana, but he has gone to Aston Villa. There were talks about Douglas Luiz, but he has gone to Juventus. So at the end of the day, the 3 number 6 targets, number 1 targets Arsenal had, have been sold. Arsenal again have not done any job, so it is what it is. That's the thing. That is the thing. So if they have to do an 8, they will sign an 8. That's the thing. So who is going to be the 6 then for Arsenal? Generally, who is going to play there? Because according to reports, we talked about this yesterday on the stream as well, Thomas Partey would like to stay and see out his contract. To be honest, being on 200 grand a week, earning 10 million a year, who wouldn't? But if Thomas Partey... I mean, sorry. Thomas Partey, if he stays... Our camera is doing a mad one. It really doesn't like the lighting I have. I need to buy... Hey, face cam, where did you go? I need to buy a lamp to put here that illuminates my face so my camera doesn't go out of focus. If Thomas Partey stays, we have Thomas Partey and that's about it. Because we are using Jorginho as a backup. Undoubtedly, and I would say there's a big inevitability that Partey is gonna get injured during the season, right? Even though he looks in a decent form in the preseason, I would say he's gonna get injured, let's be real. So at the end of the day, it means if he gets injured, we are going into the game with midfield of Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard. Now, in a world, there is a possibility that someone gets a red card, too many yellows, or also gets injured, like Jorginho. God forbid Declan Rice gets injured. And what we gonna do then? Generally, what we gonna do then? We're gonna play Skelly? We're gonna play Ranieri? Or... we're gonna put Havertz in the left 8 once again. And we all saw how that went last season when we played Havertz at left 8. Generally killed the momentum in attack by about 15 to 20%. compared to the time when we pushed him up to be a striker, a number 9 during the season, the second part of the season. And that is the big thing. Arsenal haven't signed an 8, Arsenal haven't signed a 6, so, and it looks like they won't. Injuries are a constant headache, exactly, especially with Thomas Partey. And to be honest, last season, Arsenal got very lucky with injuries. Only Thomas Partey got injured, Tomiyasu got a knock here or there, and Reece Nelson was injured, and Jesus pretty much didn't play the whole season almost. But overall, we genuinely didn't get injured. Odegaard, Saka, most of our players stood and didn't get injured. Saliba didn't get injured, Gabriel, Ben White, they legit avoided every single injury imaginable. They didn't get injured whatsoever. Sooner or later, this luck will run out. And now we will have to use our backups and everything. Okay, defensively, more or less, we are solid. I would say we are quite solid. Left center back is a bit of an issue, but overall we are quite solid. Midfield-wise, Rice gets injured, we're screwed. Partey gets injured, we're screwed. Odegaard gets injured, we're screwed, because let's be real, Fabio Vieira is not going to do the job. Saka gets injured, we are royally screwed. And that's about it. Generally, we don't have backups in the key positions we need backups. And Arsenal have spent 600 plus million transfer window. I would say, jokingly, half of them on the goalkeepers, because Mikel Arteta has signed 10 goalkeepers while he's been here. I think if we sign Bentley, it's 10 goalkeepers. We have signed 9 goalkeepers. He signs pretty much a goalkeeper every single transfer window. 1 or 2 goalkeepers on average. It's actually insane. Defensively, we are solid. I would say midfield and attack is genuinely lacking, and that is a big, big issue. The UCLs have been expanded for yeah, but the big thing about UCL at the moment is the fact that it's 2 more games. Like, if you look at the whole UCL thing, it's only 2 more games, which is not that bad. The issue with this is, we used to have a winter break for about a week or 2, like we did last season, and we went to Dubai and then we came back and destroyed everyone. In 17 games, 15 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. This season, we have none of that. We will not have any breaks because Champions League is going till mid-January, late January, so we will have none of that. Plus Premier League and everything. This is the thing, we don't have the squad depth to do it. We have starting 11, maybe 2-3 subs, and that's it. And that is one of the biggest worries for this season. And so far, we are more than a month into the transfer window, and we have not signed anyone. Not to mention the fact that if you think about it realistically, the last signing Edu Gaspar has made at Arsenal was last summer. And I kid you not, it was last summer when we signed David Raya on loan. Because it was pretty much with obligation to buy. Arsenal will trigger it. You could count it, but it doesn't. Last player was Raya, because in winter we didn't sign anyone, and so far, again, we have not signed anyone. So what the hell he has been doing for a year, pretty much? What the hell he has been doing? He has 180 pages of players and scouting reports. So where are these pages, by the way? Did he burn them lighting up his barbecue? Is he a slow reader? He needs to buy reading glasses or what? What is he doing at the moment? Generally, what is he doing? The only hope in this instance I have at the moment, and it's a bit of a copium if that makes sense, is the fact that Arsenal tend to move in silence in transfer windows before out of nowhere a signing comes out. And that is my only hope. I hope Arsenal are working behind closed doors, nobody's talking about it, and out of nowhere Arsenal will sign 2 players or 3 players. That will be massive, like Calafiori and 2 players out of nowhere, a midfielder and attacker or something like that. That is genuinely my biggest hope in this instance. If there are no breaks, then who will replace CSR? The thing is, Arsenal, how I see this, Arsenal, there were reports, Arsenal want to increase their midfield, improve their bench quality, right? So they want to get rid of Deadwood. And Ketia, Nelson, I would say Ramsdale in this instance. Arguably Emil Smith Rowe. I wouldn't sell Emil Smith Rowe, I would keep him because he's actually a very good player. But it is what it is at the end of the day. The thing is, signing Merino, even Fofana, and players like that, if you look at this, it doesn't increase the ceiling of the team. It doesn't make us better, if that makes sense. It increases the floor and makes the gap between starting 11 and the bench smaller. That's how I see it, and that's what Arsenal want to do, basically. They want to decrease the massive drop-off between starting 11 and the furthest subs. That's what I understand from reports for Arsenal signing and selling players, basically. Why can't the club get Bruno if there is cash to spend? I understand the forward is still needed. Yeah, my opinion on this. Arsenal won't get Bruno. I assume you mean Bruno Guimaraes. The thing is, Arsenal want to sign a defender. Left back / center back, we are going for Calafiori, right? Calafiori, Bologna won 55, 60 million. Arsenal are offering 42 to 45 million, something like that. Basically, they have their values set and they want to go much higher than that. Makes sense. But Arsenal won't. What's his face? Arteta. How can I forget his name? What Arteta has indicated in interviews and what has circling around the multiple articles that are talking about Arsenal transfers, it has made an impression that Arsenal won't sign the same caliber of player as Declan Rice this summer. Arsenal spent 105 million for Declan Rice. Well, 100 million plus 5 in add-on, so 100 million. And from what I understand, Arsenal don't want to spend big on one player. They want to spend in smaller amounts, but get more quality players. And that's what Arsenal at the moment is looking at, basically. Midfielders, defenders, maybe a winger, but get for average amounts and not have one marquee player. Because Arsenal have been doing this every single year. Sign one big marquee player, like Sanchez, like Ozil, like obviously Aubameyang was a winter signing, but hey ho, like Declan Rice. And then they sprinkle around some smaller signings so they can live off the hype of the big signing. Obviously, Timber we haven't seen. It's pretty much like a new signing in a way. It's jokes, but it's no jokes, to be honest. Timber played half a game, basically, last season, so it is what it is. So defensively, we are solid. The thing is, Arsenal won't sign a 100 million midfielder. And I think the release clauses have run out for Bruno Guimaraes as well, about like 3 weeks ago. Arsenal will have to pay even more than that, and Newcastle are no need to sell. So it will be very interesting. And Arteta is also a very big guy on principles, if that makes sense. That's why he's not going for Dusan Vlahovic, because he turned us down. Bruno Guimaraes mocked Arsenal when he signed for Newcastle. So there's a big chance he's still holding a grudge and he's not gonna sign him. What else is there? Who else? Tony. They met with Tony and didn't like how he was presenting himself. I don't know, because according to reports, the interview with Ivan Toney when they met up, if that actually happened, Tony said he wants to play for Arsenal, he wants to score goals, he wants to win, and he wants to be a team player. Perfect, right? Right? Seems perfect. But Mikel Arteta apparently didn't like the way his attitude, and that is the big thing. Arteta cannot manage egos, in my opinion. That's why he was so eager to get rid of Guendouzi, Aubameyang, Lacazette, arguably Nicolas Pepe, who just came out and said some mad stuff. And to be honest, I'm with Pepe. I would have loved to keep him. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to keep Pepe. He would be perfect backup for Bukayo Saka. He's completely different type of player than Bukayo Saka. And that is what it is, to be honest, in my opinion. So Arteta doesn't want to manage egos. He wants to manage yes men. Yes sir, I'm gonna do that sir, here we go sir, basically. That's what he wants to do, in my opinion. So he's micromanaging, he wants yes men. And if you think about it, Arsenal still hasn't replaced Aubameyang, Granit Xhaka, Arsenal still haven't replaced a proper striker from Aubameyang days. Arsenal still haven't replaced Granit Xhaka, and they have spent about 600-700 million since that time. Okay, Granit got sold last summer, but since then we have spent about 300 million, and we still haven't replaced Granit Xhaka. You could say it's Declan Rice, but I don't see Declan Rice as Granit Xhaka's replacement, because he doesn't do things Granit Xhaka did. Granit Xhaka overlapped, Granit Xhaka played on the left side and helped Martinelli. Declan Rice doesn't do that. That's why also Martinelli, when he played, didn't look as good as he did the season before. Genuinely, that's the season before. Because he didn't have the backup and the help that he had with Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka legit opened his Martinelli, and he needs someone to overlap. And this is why it's really baffling me why we don't play Tierney. We rather played Kivior but not play Tierney, because when we played Kivior and Ben White, we started with inverting with Kivior. That was atrocious, so we inverted from the right, which defensively we were more sound, and that helped us. And Kivior was trying to overlap at times and stuff like that, basically. So why the hell we are not using Tierney, who is a proper defender, who loves to overlap, who has a good shot and a good cross on him, crossing to Kai Havertz? Why can't we do that? Why cannot we play Tierney and invert from the right, for example? Why is Arteta such a stickler and against that? Just like playing trying at least Zinchenko in midfield and stuff like that. Same thing, same principles. I don't get it, but it's Mikel Arteta, so hey ho. The media destroyed Pepe, but were lenient to Grealish, Anthony, Maguire. Yeah, same thing. Genuinely. And I think it came the fact that it's Arsenal. Genuinely, only because it's Arsenal. Because there is a specific agenda in the media against Arsenal. You can see that. Every time something goes wrong and Arsenal players involved, he will be the headline, he will be the picture, he will be the guy. Arsenal, when they do good, almost nothing. As soon as Arsenal do bad, every media coverage is destroying Arsenal. And that, it is what it is, generally. Arsenal have been hated by media since the beginning of time. Arsenal were the first team that introduced Afro-Americans, black players in footballing, in English football. Instantly got slated for that, and it feels like they have never forgiven them for that. But here we are today. It is what it is. Generally, we can talk about it for ages. We have to move on. Nico Williams. If Barcelona can't get Nico Williams done for financial reasons, then Arsenal are positioning themselves. He's our top choice. I know Arsenal tried really hard to get him in before Euro 2024, but Barcelona was his preference. Now, before you get excited, he's going to Barcelona no matter what. I genuinely believe so, because Laporta has come out and said he wants Nico Williams. And second of all, La Liga president himself has come out and said that Barcelona has money, they have made amends, they have done everything they need to do to pay off the debts. They need the debts on that time. At that time they need to pay off, and they have money to spend, and they can afford to sign, sell, and everything. Paying is not the issue, just discussing the salary is the biggest thing. So genuinely, I'm just saying this now. He's not coming to Arsenal. He's going to Barcelona. Already saying that. Nico Williams himself has said his preference is to stay in Spain. Just like Zubimendi. This is the one. This is something I really like. Arsenal have held preliminary talks with Pedro Neto's agent this week, and the player has made it clear he's prioritizing a move to Arsenal. Obviously, he was linked before with Spurs, but Spurs, it's gonna be Arsenal. The club view Neto as potentially great addition to their forward line and have been told 50 million would secure the deal. Now, Pedro Neto is very good. Pedro Neto is fantastic. He would be perfect for Arsenal. Only thing is the injuries. Since Pedro Neto wouldn't be the number one guy for Arsenal, he would be less prone to injuries in any given time. Mind you, saying that, you can get injured while getting out of the bed in the morning. Anyone can twist their knee and anything can happen to you. Let's get that straight. Let's be real. So Pedro Neto for 50 million. I would like to pay 40, but if it cannot get the thing done, if it's Premier League and everything, I would do this deal. I genuinely would do this deal. I would get Pedro Neto to Arsenal. Wolves also already have signed a replacement for Pedro Neto in case he leaves from Braga, if I'm not mistaken. They signed it 2.5 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So definitely, Pedro Neto would be perfect. Quick, agile, loves to take on opponents, good finisher, can play on the both sides, left, right, and that is amazing. Generally, he is a mix between Martinelli and Saka and a little sprinkle of tech in there. Because he's quick as Martinelli, none of our attackers have tech, arguably, you could say, because they never take on their opponents properly, but he has tech, He is a good finisher, so he could definitely slot in very, very nicely, and I would take Pedro Neto here in a heartbeat. Now, when Fabrizio tweeted Pedro Neto, I knew Arsenal has moved on from Nico. Exactly. There's no chance in hell Arsenal are signing Nico Williams if he's saying himself he would like to stay in Spain. Laporta said he wants Nico Williams, and La Liga president is saying that they have the money and they can easily sign him if they want to. So this is just a matter of time. Genuinely, it's just a matter of time. Oh my god, it's way too much to read. Genuinely, wait, let me check this. God. Todibo is not signing for Newcastle, I think. Anyways, swiftly moving on. Arsenal are monitoring this one. Another Ukrainian. What is this obsession with Ukrainians, by the way? Genuinely. We signed Zinchenko, we wanted Mudryk, we wanted Tsigankov, now Dovbyk were just links, nothing big to that. Why we haven't signed Dovbyk, by the way? I think generally he would be good at Arsenal. But it is what it is, Arteta and Arsenal. How I say about Arsenal, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. So here we are. Arsenal are monitoring Bournemouth defender Ilya Zabarny according to Caught Offside. Zabarny. Why? Why, and again, why? Why we are linked with another defender? Genuinely, Zabarny. I genuinely think Zabarny is right-sided center back, if I'm not mistaken. No? Or am I tripping here? He can play both center backs. Okay, cool. He's right-footed, so there's no chance in play he's gonna play left-sided. Because all of our left side is left-footed and our right side is right-footed. So there's no chance in hell he's gonna play left-sided center back. By the way, what is this obsession with left-footed players on the left side? How about if you can't defend, you play there? That's about it. Generally, before Pep Guardiola came in, there were no discussions. I want left-sided player at left-sided center back, left-sided player at that left side position. There was, if you can't defend, you play there, you play good, you'll keep playing. If you don't, you'll get dropped, someone else comes in until you prove you can defend again. Genuinely, that's about it. There were no discussions, no nothing. Why we are linked with him? 32 million euros, that's about 27 million pounds. Right? Half the price of Calafiori, by the way. Premier League proven. 21 years old, so fits the Arteta youth project system. I'm generally so tired of youth system, by the way. If Arsenal want to sign players, experienced players, to decrease the gap from bench to starting 11, signing a 21-year-old from Bournemouth, I don't think is the best case in this scenario, who hasn't been properly proven. But how did he do last season in Premier League? Premier League, 42 games. Let's check this. All seasons. 23-24 season. Had injuries, didn't play, and here it is. He played pretty much the whole season from bell to bell, almost, which is actually kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. Bournemouth, he scored against Luton. Wow. What about his injury history? We need to check his injury history because this is the Arsenal we're talking about here. Well, he gets injured on average once a season. Well, he got COVID, so that doesn't count. 2 seasons ago, he got ankle injury, missed 6 games, and that's about it. So he's actually durable. He doesn't get injured too much. But again, why the hell we are linked with another defender? How about sign a midfielder, attacker, number 9, winger? How about that? Generally, how about that? Generally pisses me off sometimes. Chidobe Martin, yeah, we talked about that. Not talking about that. Yeah, this one I really like as well. The highly rated pair of Ethan Nwaneri and Skelly are both expected to travel with Arsenal to the USA tour. They're likely to be joined 17-year-old center back Aiden Heaven. Other youngsters who've been participating in first team training are Charles Saga Jr. Makes sense. Mohand makes sense. Monlois makes sense. But yeah, these two I think will feature for the games in the preseason. Genuinely, I genuinely believe so, and I hope they do good. Magyeri just got professional contract. Hopefully he gets to play. And this one is the last one. Arsenal are pushing to add a new goalkeeper to expand their options before leaving for their tour in USA. They may go back with a new bid for Wolves Dan Bentley, although time is running short to get one over the line before facing Bournemouth next week. And so if we face Bournemouth, we're going to play against Zabarny, the center back we actually want to we are linked with, so kind of nice in that regard. Can see what he's all about. But overall, yeah, Arsenal don't have any senior goalkeepers to take to USA Tour. They have Karl Hein as their number one center back. Good job. Gave Ramsdale a week off vacation for sitting on the bench whole season and in Euros. Araya can be justified. He won the Euros, let him celebrate, genuinely. But Arsenal poised to pounce on 49 million transfer slip up. Genuinely, if that is Nico Williams, I'm gonna throw hands. And it's Nico Williams. Arsenal are not that good, it turns out. Arsenal turns to Crystal Palace preparing 30 million bid. We talked about that. So generally we covered pretty much everything. Nothing more to discuss for today, I guess. So yeah, I think on this note, I'm gonna end it here. It's past 11 my time. Hope you had a great day. Hope you were enjoyed being here. If you're new around here, like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Gonna see you tomorrow, most likely early stream, because during the evening I'm gonna go to the day and evening, afternoon, gonna be on the beach, sunbathing and chilling basically for once. So that's gonna be nice. Looking very forward to that, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you so much for commenting, talking, being interactive and everything. If you as I said, if you're new around here, of course, subscribe, like, comment. See you all tomorrow. See you afterwards or maybe later. Take care. You have been fantastic. Much love. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.